great of Kevin Love, so courageous of Kevin Love, and such a powerful thing. Because we know the macho environment of sports, but not just sports, just guys in general. I'm no high-level athlete, but I know the way guys are expected to a degree to carry themselves and to just tough things out, if you will. And so, you know, Kevin Love said DeMar DeRozan inspired him, and Kevin Love tried to inspire some other people by sharing his story. I'll share mine briefly here. When I got out of college, I went through about a year and a half where I had deep depression. I had serious addiction and issues that were risking derailing my whole life. And if I didn't find a way to get some type of help, if I didn't find a way to figure out what was actually going on, there's no chance I get here. I had all the opportunity in the world, and I was in the process of squandering it because of things I was dealing with internally. And I've really not talked about that publicly a lot, but I think it's important that people, if they have an opportunity to talk to people through people who are dealing with their own things, to say, we've all been there, man. Like, or a lot of us have been there. I haven't had a panic attack, but I've dealt with the depression. I've dealt with the addiction stuff. And so I think Kevin Love sharing that, after all the criticism he's gotten for being soft, like actually a soft basketball player, to say, I'm going to do something that is the opposite of soft, talk about my struggles, I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
I think it's the hardest part of an athlete that has to develop, because you have extraordinary skills, and that be either to shoot a basketball, dribble a basketball, rebound a basketball. You have tremendous athletic skill, that being height, speed, power. But that ability to be the best person you can be, that's hard to develop, because along the way in your journey, you're coddled a lot. So do you have to address these type of things? This is not as if the locker room has just been open to mental health and mental well-being. So it is nice to see. We've seen people get help through addiction, and they're all in the same family. It's just about help. All right, if you need to practice on your jumper, you know what an NBA player does? He goes out and works on his jumper. But if you need help with your brain and how you're getting along with stuff, what are the avenues to be able to get some help? And it comes from players like this being able to speak out, to let them know it's okay. We all don't have ourselves all wrapped up tight. We don't have all of our stuff together. To me, I believe in being in some type of maintenance program. I believe in having people around me who can speak into my life to keep me on the right path. I believe at this age, I'm the best I've ever been. And the reason why is because for the last 30 years, I've been getting help. I continue to get help on a monthly basis. So for me, I love to see strong men be able to reach out and make themselves vulnerable, because more people are apt to get help when they hear the stories of DeRozan, when they hear Kevin Love, how he in a game, how he suffered from a panic attack. So these are normal situations people go through. They just don't expect the elite of the elite as far as athletes to be speaking about, and it's fresh to hear.
No, you said it. Women go through too, all the time. And yes, it's impressive when you see a guy who's supposedly able to just muscle his way through any issues. And I think the one thing people don't realize about mental health is you're not in control. It is something 100%. Completely out of your control. It is not something you can wake up in the morning and say, I'm just going to fight my way through this. I mean, your brain is just wired a little bit differently. And to get help, like you said, at a young age, like right out of college, it's incredibly impressive, and it probably saved the track of life that you were on.
It is impressive. Also, people, as they go through their life, there's pressure on people every day. There's no pressure like being a professional athlete. And there's no pressure like having to provide for your family in this window that you know is a very, very short window, where people are expecting you to be on every single day. So the pressure of being a professional athlete, people say, oh, well, let me have that pressure. Well, it's easier said than done. So see the greatest of the great, reach out and say, man, I don't have it all together. To me, that's very, very refreshing to see.
And if you read the article, and if you haven't, I encourage you to, he talks about in there what he realized had really been weighing on him was the death of a grandparent from a few years prior that he hadn't fully grieved. And it just reminds you, which I think is important, that these guys who we talk about as sometimes as superheroes, and certainly we talk about their on-court or on-field performance for hypercritical or picking them apart, these guys are dealing with the same things all of us are. Like you have a death of a relative, life's going on, you don't fully let it sink in, you don't fully deal with your feelings from it, and it festers and hurts you in other ways. And so I thought it was really brave what Kevin Love did, and I thought it was great. He said DeMar DeRozan talked about his issues. Right. I'm going to talk about mine, and I hope it starts a bigger dialogue and conversation.
And you're right. If you haven't had a chance to read it, definitely do so. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.